Hello friends, it's Sarah from Sweet Scents from the Dollhouse. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, welcome back. I'm going to try and film a whole bunch of videos, so I apologize if I'm wearing the same thing or in the same spot all the time, but I am looking forward to taking a couple days off over the Christmas holidays, so I will be pre-recording and uploading as much as I can so I can stay offline and in touch with my fam jam throughout the holiday season. Speaking of which, I am bringing you probably one of the most exciting to me Vlogmas entries this holiday season. For those of you who haven't been following my channel very closely, I met a woman named Rhonda Clarnell through Facebook, through our love of home fragrance, Scentsy, vendor wax, so on and so forth. I joke in my videos all the time about her being my wax wife. She is just an absolute doll. I'm not a very religious person, but I believe in the power of the universe. I don't believe in coincidence, and I believe that everything happens for a reason. So I think the universe never gives us more than what we can handle. The universe also blesses us with gifts when we least expect it. And sometimes at first you won't recognize it as a gift. But stay in touch and listen and be aware, because I mean, it's good juju, it's good karma. Put out to the universe what you intend on receiving back, and the universe will always reward you. Perhaps religious people would say that that's God's work. But I believe that Rhonda came into my life for a reason. She is just an absolute doll. We've connected on so many different levels. We've got a lot in common. She has a spinal injury, much like myself. This weekend has probably been the worst weekend I've had in 10 years with my pain management, and I'm really, really not feeling well. So I apologize if I've been a little out of touch this weekend or not answering to my comments. So we have that in common. We've discussed home fragrance. I also used to work with special needs children, and Rhonda has a special needs boy named Dylan. He's amazing. He is diagnosed with autism at the age of 5, and today for Vlogmas, I am going to share Dylan's story, which is essentially a pretty magic Scentsy story at the same time. So Rhonda, Dylan's mom, first became a Scentsy customer back in like 2007 or 2008, I believe, and her first purchase was a warmer, much like all of us, a bundle pack, so a warmer and some bars. She smelt a couple testers from the consultant and loved Huckleberry Heaven so much that she's like, give me all of those. I just want those. She warmed them day and night in her house, instantly in love with Scentsy, which, come on, we all are, right? So, if you've ever had the pleasure of meeting or getting to know an autistic child, you will know that the world tends to be a very chaotic and crazy place for autistic children. And I get it, I understand. Sometimes I go out in the world and I'm like, phew, enough with the crazy, I'm going home, you know? But I can relate, and I have worked with autistic children who they can't control their behaviors or their meltdowns, and it's not because they're misbehaving, it's because the world is a very busy place in their mind. They're not very susceptible to change. Even something simple like, you and I would think nothing of rearranging the furniture in this bedroom, but an autistic child, something like that could seem like the end of the world to them. because they thrive in structure with routine, and because the world is such a crazy place to an autistic child, they like things to stay the same. They like things to be predictable. They tend to form patterns and behaviors, and all of a sudden, Rhonda ran out of this scent. And she thought, well, that was nice for a month. I'm going to place another order with the Scentsy consultant, but this time I'm going to order 6 of a little bit of everything and try it out. At the same time, all of a sudden, Dylan wasn't sleeping. All of a sudden, Dylan wasn't expressing himself like he normally does. Something was just really off with him. And Rhonda and her husband couldn't for the life of them figure it out. Nothing had changed. There was no major or even minor alteration in Dylan's regular routine and his regular schedule. And it took her about 4 weeks to figure it out. But sure enough, Dylan had been accustomed to the scent Huckleberry Heaven, and he required it to sleep properly at night. So Rhonda placed an order for 6 more of those as well and started melting it exclusively in Dylan's room. And she called it Dylan's scent for the longest time. She ordered it and ordered it and ordered it. She made sure that she had a consistent stockpile of it, and automatically Dylan went back to being normal Dylan and life as usual, happy, healthy, amazing, sleeping well. So if you can imagine how much we love Scentsy because it evokes a memory, or because it helps us relax, or helps us get a better rest at night, whatever it may be, uplifts our mood. If you can imagine how emotionally healing or provoking a fragrance or a scent can be, you can only imagine how important that would be to a child with autism. So Rhonda made sure that they had a stockpile of it. Then she got word that Dylan's scent was going to retire. So her and Jared broke the bank, ordered as much of it as they could possibly afford, and Rhonda crossed her fingers that it would come back next season. Well, it didn't. So for Bring Back My Bar, Rhonda, as well as a boatload of their friends and family, voted for Huckleberry Heaven to win for Bring Back My Bar. Not once, but twice. In the meantime, she had run out of her personal stash and had started to buy up as much Scentsy, or as much Huckleberry Heaven as she possibly could from any consultant all across America, whoever she could find online. She was bringing in those bars for Dylan. So the second Bring Back My Bar happened. And again, they voted nonstop, nonstop, nonstop. And for a second time, it did not win Bring Back My Bar. And now, like I said in the beginning of this video, I truly believe that the universe doesn't give us more than we can handle. I also am a firm believer that special needs children pick their parents, or the universe picks them. Because I'm a mom, and I know as a mother we all go to the ends of the earth for whatever our kids need. But I'm telling you, the moms of special needs kids that I've had the pleasure of working with or just meeting in my regular life, like these women, or even the dads, because the dads are phenomenal too, but they are proof to me that angels walk here on earth amongst us. They're just the strongest, I don't know, it's just, they absolutely blow my mind. And even through this channel, I have had pleasure of meeting, there's 3 of you, you know who you are. I'm not going to say your name, but I know 3 moms just from subscribers on my channel that I've talked to about their special needs kids. And again, these are women who I just, absolutely blows my mind. Your strength, your perseverance, your ability to dust off and get back up and go another day just absolutely knocks my socks off, and keep up the amazing work. So Rhonda, after the second Bring Back My Bar didn't work, she said to me, Sarah, I really didn't anticipate anything to happen. I was just frustrated, and I wrote Orville, Scentsy's Orville, just telling him, like, we voted so hard twice. I had so many people doing it. And she told him Dylan's story. She said, I've been bringing it in from all over North America. We're nearly running out. I don't know what to do. She wrote that little email or note to Orville, and she really didn't anticipate an answer or even a response. She said to me, Sarah, he's the CEO of Scentsy. Like, I don't even know if he reads his own messages. He's probably so busy that that's the last thing that I thought would happen. Let me tell you, Orville and Heidi read their own messages. They're never too busy for their customers, no matter how ginormous Scentsy is. Not only did Orville read this mother's cry for help, he went out, stopped production on one of the Scentsy lines, and told them to line up Huckleberry Heaven. And Orville hand-poured 3 bricks himself to send to Dylan. They were absolutely floored. Rhonda and Jared were just speechless, absolutely speechless. They really did not anticipate that to happen. And she said to me, I thought I was in love with the company to begin with. When that happened, I was a customer for life. She said, absolutely blew my mind. Orville didn't stop there, folks. He also shared Dylan's story on his own page. So hundreds of thousands of Scentsy consultants, as well as customers, read Dylan's story. Sure enough, guess what won the #1 spot in the next Bring Back My Bar? Again, the Clairneau family had absolutely no expectation, nothing. The Scentsy family band together and voted for Dylan's scent. Then, guess what happened next? The Clairneau family were blessed beyond blessed. Never in a million years thought that this would happen. Were absolutely mind blown when Dylan sent one big Bring Back My Bar. And Rhonda said, shortly after the 1st of the month, on Bring Back My Bar, she started getting packages delivered to her house. Sometimes the packages would have 1 Huckleberry Heaven, sometimes 3, sometimes 6, sometimes 12. Scentsy consultants and friends and customers and everyone and their brother sent Dylan his scent in the mail. And I know on this channel I have made videos about my previous frustrations, even my current frustrations with some of the behaviors of certain people. But like I've always said, a few bad apples doesn't ruin the whole bunch. And I cannot tell you how proud I am to be a part of a company that would do that, that would stop production to pour 3 bars, and then would share Dylan's story publicly. And the reaction and the response from the Scentsy family to not only bring it back, but to then send Dylan his scent. I am telling you, Dylan has a lifetime supply of Huckleberry Heaven. Thank you to the Scentsy family. And the power of like-minded, positive people that band together is just absolutely moving. Not only did Dylan get his scent, it raised autism awareness. It's just so powerful and so moving when we work together collectively as a family. So in the past couple months, I've had a chance to get to know the Clairneau family as well as Dylan personally. He is an absolute doll. Again, if you've ever had the pleasure of meeting or interacting with autistic children, it irks me to no end when people refer to them as disabled. I have never met an autistic child that isn't a genius. They are absolutely borderline genius, if not full-fledged genius. I had a client once at the age of 11 could play the drums better than full-grown men I've met who have been practicing their craft for 20 years. And like, he would play the drums and it would literally make the hair stand up on the back of my neck. He was so talented. They're very good with patterns too. So I've also worked with some brilliant children who are just math geniuses. They figure out equations that I'm like, I have no idea what they're talking about. Mathematical geniuses. So the word disabled doesn't really apply to autistic children. And I used to tell my previous clients, as well as I told Dylan just the other day, you have autism. It doesn't mean that, you're disabled. It means that you have a superpower. He is just the most loving and just compassionate little kid. We've never met in person because they're in Oregon and I'm all the way up here in Ontario in Canada. But because we talk so frequently, I'm messaging his mom back and forth, and we've gotten to know one another and family and so on and so forth. He asked his mom the other day, or a couple weeks ago now, if he could call me Auntie Sarah. I'm telling you, these children, they're empaths, they're geniuses. Like, you don't meet more loving and just amazing souls like autistic kids. It's again, totally moves me. So Dylan wanted to send me a Christmas present, and literally brought me to tears when I took this out of the box. But this is one of the bricks that Orville poured for Dylan himself. Dylan keeps these bricks on a shelf in his room, and they are some of his prized possessions. He absolutely loves them. He also knows that Auntie Sarah works for Scentsy, and I love Scentsy. So he gifted me one of these bricks for Christmas, and I wanted to share it in one of my Vlogmas videos. And just remind people of Dylan's story. If you've been a consultant for a while, you probably remember when this happened. And if you are a new consultant, welcome, and be proud that you have joined an amazing team nationwide of people that would go out of their way to help a little boy sleep at night. You don't meet people like that every day. So I'm a firm believer that there is a whole army of amazing Scentsy consultants, as well as customers out there, of course. But Dylan gifted me one of his precious bricks for Christmas. I am going to put it in my Scentsy treasure box. In my treasure box, I will make a video and share what is in there. There's not a lot because my Scentsy journey has only just begun, but this is going to be something I cherish forever, that he would want to send this to me. And I will continue to tell Dylan's story and what Orville did to help that little boy sleep at night, as well as to raise autism awareness. And I am so proud to be a part of a family that would do this for this family. So yeah, that is my Vlogmas entry. Dylan now, thanks to the Scentsy family, has enough Huckleberry Heaven, as I said, to last a lifetime. But he's a little bit older. This is like going on 3 years ago now. Autistic children know that they're different because they're borderline genius. Don't think of them as disabled or don't think of them as stupid. They know that they're different. Rhonda has also shared with me some horrific bullying stories that Dylan is currently dealing with. So any of my Scentsy family or my customers or just my general subscribers, even if you're not a Scentsy customer or fan, I'm asking this holiday season to give the gift of tolerance. Teach tolerance. If you have children at home, autism is on the rise. I can't remember what I read the other day. Something totally scary, like 1 in 5 or 1 in 3 kids are being diagnosed with autism. It is scary. It is really scary. And your child guaranteed goes to school with a handful of autistic children. And we need to teach our children. It starts at home with us. Tolerance starts at home. Teach your child tolerance. Tell them that that autistic child isn't disabled. They have a superpower. Tell them that they're genius. Encourage them to befriend them. Reach out to them. Be nice to them. Be tolerant and be loving. Because if they get a chance or if they allow that autistic child into their life, I can guarantee you those children ooze love and acceptance and, again, like I said in the beginning of this video, whatever you put out into the world, you will receive in return in tenfold. And autistic children have a lot to give. So please, this holiday season, start at home. Give the gift of tolerance and teach your children to be loving and accepting of all of their peers. Thanks for watching.